Hello students. So today we are going to discuss about module 6 and this is the last module of your digital fluency. This module topic will be effective communication skills. Now the first and foremost thing is to understand what is a communication skill and how it can be effective. So any speech, idea of exchange, thoughts, knowledge or data, which goes from the sender to the receiver must have a clarity and a purpose. Then only it will be understood in a clear way, or then we can call a effective communication. Both the sender sends the information which is very clear and it is receptive by the receiver. What are the characteristics of effective communication? So what are the features of a good communication or effective communication? It should have the clear message from the sender to the receiver. It should have correct message. That means whatever words you are using, sentences you are framing, everything should be very clear without any errors or grammatical mistakes. Complete message. So incomplete sentences, incomplete paragraphs will lead to a confusion. So the sentences has to be complete and proper. Precise message. So anything you tell should be more than a lengthy message. It should be very brief and straightforward message in a desired statements, so that the receiver doesn't get bored listening to you and he enjoys what you tells. Reliability. So whatever knowledge or information you are trying to share or give should also be required, or if it is unnecessary kind of the message which you are giving, which is not of any relevance or important to the receiver, definitely it will not have any reliability. Consideration of the recipient. Next very important thing is to understand the attitude, language, the knowledge the recipient has, education level the recipient has, the position of the receiver, in what situation he is listening to you. All this thing matters a lot. Sender courtesy. So using humble language, good type of the sentences, very simplified sentences, giving a lot of respect to the listener or the receiver will definitely make your communication very effective. So significance of effective communication in business. Now why it is important that the communication should be effective, powerful, especially in the business world. There are different the reasons for that. Employee management. So it becomes very easy to manage the employees if there is a clarity from the top to bottom conveying of the messages from the superior to the subordinates. Second is the team building. If everybody understands the clarity of the information, everyone can work together in a form of a team. Growth of the organization. It is also very important for the organization to grow. In order to grow, they need to understand what is the objective, what work they are doing, and finally how they are going to achieve the results. And for that, effective communication comes into picture. Build strong relationships. So communication can create wars, can create histories, and can also create friendships, relations. So language becomes very important in good and bad type of things to happen. A certain transparency and develop trust. It's very important that whatever language we are using must be very crystal clear, transparent, and should not hide the things, the words, the sentences, and it should be such that it develops a trust in the receiver's mind and heart. Facilitates creativity and innovation. So it's also very important that the language must create a kind of a beautiful sentence, we can say, very simplified sentence, and it should be something like different or innovative type. So it attracts people to listen to you. They are forced to listen to you. Reduces misunderstanding. Language should always be used in such a way, it should be so effective that it doesn't create any kind of double meanings, or misunderstanding in the listener. Organizational growth. It all depends upon the growth of the organization. The only thing it is the effective communication. What are the barriers or restrictions to effective communication then? There are lots of problems between sender and the receiver. The first we'll understand is a language. If language is French, Chinese, Japanese, and it is not understood by the receiver, it will never reach to the receiver. Disorganized message, not complete message, ambiguity or overuse of abstractions. The noun, pronouns, verb are not properly formed sentences. Information is overload. Too much of information is also distracting. Attitudinal differences. So everybody has a different kind of mood swings or attitude. So you need to check the attitude of the person and accordingly you have to speak to convince them. Demographic differences. So different people come from different demography or region. So level of knowledge, the kind of the language they understand, they have to come to the level and then explain them. Lack of common experience of perspective. Some are not very experienced in terms of understanding the languages, the kind of the message behind the language. So we should make it very simplified. Jumping to conclusions. If we suddenly come to conclusion without explanation and clarities of objective and the task, then it becomes a little confusion and it may not be very effective. Attitudinal differences, already I told, demographic, lack of common experience also. So these are a part of what we say people, background and physical barriers. Creative problem solving. So another part of the communication is the creative problem solving. Creative problem solving or CPS is a way of using creativity to develop new ideas, solutions to problem. Now how do we have that creativity? Everybody has a different kind of thought process. Everyone has a different kind of skill and ideas. So all this creativity comes from within of the people, which solves a lot of problems of different types. Now creative problem solving process includes assessing the situation, understanding the situation, exploring the vision or objectives. After that, clarification of the vision and then formulating of the challenges, objectives, then exploring the ideas to achieve the objectives. After that, formulating solutions to the problem, then exploring the acceptance of the solutions in a very simple way, then implementation of whatever decisions or rules, and then finally formulated plan and applying the plan to all or to solve the creativity of solving a problem. Now what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is out of box thinking. Intellectually disciplined process of actively, skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, evaluating the information. So what is the part of it? Through observation, experience, reasoning, communication, we can have a better kind of critical analyzing of the things. So it can also be done through observation of the situations, analysis or understanding more in depth of the situations, inferences, examples of the situations, communication, communicating, talking and sharing, and finally problem solving through various ways. Last is collaboration and teamwork, very important. So anything to happen successfully well in order and discipline, we need to have a teamwork, we say. So basically collaboration and teamwork increases the communication between the members, more flexibility and understanding, acceptability by members, increase in productivity and good results. It also creates a lot of exposure to learnings and learning potentials among the members, and the employees will be engaged towards positivity and growth of themselves and the organization also through collaboration and team building. Design thinking is a process to solve the problem by prioritizing the consumer needs. What does consumer want, and accordingly customize the way of thinking to suit to the customer needs. Stages in design thinking can be empathize or understand the customer problem, define or more elaborate the problem of the customer, ideate to solve the problem of customer, prototype and create examples, and finally test how we can solve the problems through design thinking of the customer's problems. Enhancing skills. Skill enhancement or training basically is a combination of knowledge, cognitive and behavior. So hello students, so today we are